Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I am back here with Paper Rose, and we are going to do a lot of die cutting, but it's going to be on a monochromatic scale. So I'm using the gum leaves sets 2 and 4, and these dies I'm going to die cut twice and other multiple times, and you'll see what I mean by that. I'm also going to be using, for the background, the Texture 2 metal die. I love these dies. They also have one that's in the form of a brick wall, which is great. And then I'm going to be using their Congratulations small metal die for the sentiment. We're going to be using solid cardstock and mirror cardstock to create our card today. I'm going to start with the sentiment, and the reason why I did this is because I did not want to lose the top of the eye on this sentiment. I did only die cut these once. So the cloud, what I call the cloud, was cut out of silver mirror cardstock, and the sentiment was cut out of solid black cardstock. I did not want to add any dimension to that sentiment other than some foam squares. And again, you'll see why as we do that. Now that we have the sentiment done, we're going to set that aside. Just clean that up around that little dot there. And then we are going to let that dry. I'm going to first create the layers on the leaves. So the one set, each of the sets has the solid portion and then this overlay. I did, for these leaves, I used a gray, a warm gray, solid cardstock, and I used silver for the outlines. And I'm just going to layer these up. Now, what's great with these leaves as well is you can do die cut inlay. So if you wanted to cut the solid pieces out of white and then choose your outline color, and then you could actually cut the outlines again from another solid color, and you can change the leaves, have one side darker, one side lighter, whatever you would want, you would be able to create. I just chose to keep these two colors together, and these are the only ones that I'm going to use the outline for. For the larger gum leaf, the more solid one, the number 4 set, I'm not going to do the outline for those. I'm going to leave that behind, and I'm just going to do the background of the leaves. So I'm just going to continue adding my outline to my solid piece. These are very easy to layer together, but you can have a lot of fun with them. So they're really cool. And then we'll just get this last one together. I do like to use my liquid glue for something like this. If you like to use that double-sided tape, you can certainly do that and die cut these through that as well. So I have my 2 large black sets ready, and I did die cut the large black set 4 times. I'm going to take my gray panel and I'm going to set that down. The card size that we're making today is a 7 by 7. I love making large size cards. And I'm going to set that panel in the center. This is cut 6 by 6. And now I'm going to, it's cut 5 by 5 because I have an inch border all the way around. I'm applying glue to the back of my texture base, and I'm going to set that off to the side on the left hand side, and I am going to come up over that gray panel. When applying a piece like that, you want to use dots. I find that helpful. Doesn't ooze as much. I'm going to take 2 of the black and I'm going to pinpoint them to the center of that piece. What we're creating is a mirror effect with these dies. You can see that when it comes to the 2 ends, the 2 stems, they're in the same area, so that when I put down my sentiment over that, you will not see these stems from underneath your sentiment. Almost the same thing that I do on one side, I will do on another side. The other two black pieces that I die cut, I'm cutting those apart. They're going to help break apart. You can see how I'm putting this double leaf here, but I don't want it to get lost in the silver lattice that I have back there. So I'm just setting a black leaf in behind it. You'll see me every once in a while check this sentiment to make sure that these leaf stems are all hidden behind it, no matter where I put them. For this, I'm going to use my foam squares. This is going to be kind of very uneven with those stems. So by using foam squares, I'll be able to push this around and over those areas and still keep the sentiment even going across. Again, just checking, making sure, and then looking at placement of other ones. Where do I want to place this? I'm going to use a white pencil and just place a mark where I want the base of that stem to be. Again, pulling in that sentiment and then grabbing in where that other one will sit as well. Now, because I do have these other pieces, I have these extras of the long ones, I'm going to cut them a little bit and I'm going to tuck them underneath one of the other black leaves. You'll notice that most of the time when I put my glue on, I'm either only putting it up the center of the leaf or at the base of the leaf. That will help me to layer these leaves together. Once I know that they're all in place, then I'll go around with my liquid glue on the edges if I want to do that. I'm adding in a large piece of that black leaf set that I have. And you can see I'm liking the placement, so now I'm putting that glue on the edges. I'm going to cut these other leaves down so that I can get them up underneath and the stem won't be there to add that bulk. And then again, just making sure that they're placed. And now time for the sentiment. And I'm just going to make sure that when I place that, it's centered and covering up those stems. You can stop right here because we have so much of that silver mirror cardstock, but I chose to add some gunmetal pearls, and I'm just placing them into the lattice and on the outside around these leaves. And that is our project today. I hope you enjoyed this. It's another way to look at your colors, keep it monotone, keep a neutral base to that. Grays, blacks, and ivories, they are all neutral tones, and you can do just beautiful things with them. By adding the silver, that's adding to the gray to that card and being accented with the black cardstock. As always, the products that I used will be listed down below, and please leave a comment and let us know how you like this card and if you have any questions. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel where you'll see even more inspiration coming your way. Enjoy the art that you create and know that it is art. But most of all, remember what's most important. Always be creative, guys, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Till then.